play us in.
Yeah, so you missed that opportunity. I mean, there's still time if you want to.
Get some tunes going.
Hold
Cool.
up.
So I think we're live. Let me just double check.
I'll let you know. Let's see. Let me tweet out. Oh, there we go. We're
Good. There we
live
go.
officially.
We have an ad showing up on the thing. Let me hit skip ad. Hopefully everybody can hear us. Can everybody hear us out there? Let me drop me some
Yeah,
type of
audio's
emoji.
working.
You guys can hear it because I have my headphones on. I didn't want to turn it up on my laptop. We
Yeah,
got
audio's working. We
Best,
got
Dave. If you guys let me know, can you? Well, Marlon, you're muted again.
Oh yeah, no,
There we go. So yeah, everybody out there, let us know if you hear us. It's my first live stream, so I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. So I'm kind of just playing this all by ear. But yeah, this is the first What Up Wednesday. Okay, he said audio is good. What up? Yeah, appreciate everybody coming out. We're gonna for this first one, we're basically gonna be going through I guess the contest, yeah, we'll answer any
yeah,
questions that might come up. If you guys have any questions out there that you guys have been having troubles with, or questions in general about the Unrolled Challenge, make sure you leave it in the chat. You know, I was answering some questions earlier this morning about, like where regions are able to enter the contest, what the specs are and everything, which is listed inside the video there as well. And then yeah, just some general setup questions. So whatever you guys have for us, let us know. I'm going to go from my left and then down to my bottom here. So I want to introduce EJ, aka Eyedesyn.
what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for
And
having me on this first
woo
What Up
woo.
Wednesday. WWUW. It's a woo.
Woo Woo Wednesday. And then down below I got Marlon. How you doing, Marlon?
I'm doing great. Just
Yeah,
hanging out here, excited for this contest, representing Leia, 3D light fields technology. Happy to be here with you, gents.
I know you held up your NPC instead of your holographic tablet. What's that?
Hey, so we switch back and forth. We go from visual media to music. With fluidity. But yeah, we're excited to be a part of this. And me, Winbush, you and I met when I was working at the Grammys. You know, always pushing the connection between music and visual media. Just exciting times for sure. And that's what I'm going to be making my challenge for, is mixing in some music.
Awesome. Appreciate that. So, if you see me looking to the side, I got like 8 monitors, like I'm running the Matrix. I got my laptop here, my second 4K monitor here. So, I'm trying to command the ship while doing this as well. Trying to get the flow of things. But yeah, if any questions come through, let us know. Someone said that your audio is iffy, EJ.
Yeah, I just was looking at better
I mean, I
now.
have everything running through Discord. Like I can hear you fine, but I'm not sure on the YouTube side over there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn down my speakers here for a little bit just to see if that was a little bit of feedback or something like that. But
Nope. So yeah, we're going to kick it off by going through some of the contest stuff that we have going. So if you guys are new and you don't know what we're talking about, EJ and I recently we unleashed the Unreal Engine Challenge because EJ is attempting to learn Unreal. So we thought it'd be cool to have a contest to have novice and VFX pros alike come through, try to show your chops in Unreal, and we do these weekly live streams as everybody's kind of going through their submissions and everything. So if you guys have any questions, this is the time to ask. Anything about Unreal, Cinema 4D, After Effects. We have the Music Man Marlon here, so if you got any questions about how to add audio, make beats for your submissions as well, ask the man down there. As well as anything holographic, Marlon Jermaine down there with the loom pad and all things future tech, Star Wars, things that I like there, Mandalorian, so all that good stuff there. But yeah, in a nutshell, EJ did what was it? You did like a tutorial or two at the last NAB where you
Yeah.
created this forest scene inside of Redshift. You created a pug statue to kind of showcase some of the stuff that you were leaning towards in Redshift and showing some tips and tricks there. And so we thought it'd be cool to try to replicate what he created inside of Redshift and Cinema 4D inside of Unreal Engine. And that's where this whole thing kind of came about. And so, yeah, how's your journey been so far? I know you just got back from, across the pond, but have you cracked open Unreal, recently and tried to jump into it?
No, I mean, I've been barely cracking open C4D at this point since I got back home, just catching up on emails. And yeah, like Winbush said, we announced the contest. I was over in Europe hanging out on vacation, being in the mountains and stuff. And so I'm excited to get back. And uh, Konami asks in the chat, does EJ plan on doing Unreal Engine tutorials in the future? And actually, there's a video that I need to actually finish editing that I hope will come out, if not later this week, but definitely next week. It's a video that is basically me and Winbush just kind of hanging out, and he is walking me through like how Unreal works and how I can build that forest scene that I demoed in at NAB in Vegas for Maxon, where I used Cinema 4D. I used Megascans, so that's the one consistent part between this tutorial and the presentation I did. But the funniest part is that I'm using Cinema 4D and Redshift, using Megascans, and my presentation was right after Grun Kim,
Hey,
who is an
Gary.
amazing artist, 3D artist, and this guy, he made like a video game for his presentation in Unreal. And guess what he showed how to do? Build a forest scene in Unreal, and he was just like, he's kicking my butt, like, because it's all real time, and he's got these like moving foliage and stuff like that. Which, if you bring in Megascans content from Megascans, and then using the Quixel Bridge and all that stuff, it's not animating, like it's all static. And so that's something I didn't even realize
Yeah.
until we recorded that tutorial that I just mentioned, where Winbush is kind of showing me like, okay, how do I do this in Unreal? And I didn't realize that if you bring in an asset from Megascans, you bring it into Unreal, you have these animation settings, you have like all these other settings that are at your disposal. So
Right.
that tutorial, which is basically kind of like a visual podcast, because not only is Winbush kind of walking me through how to build that scene, the forest scene that I built in Cinema 4D and Redshift from scratch in Unreal, but we're kind of I'm trying to make connections in my brain of like, oh, okay, that feature in Unreal, that's kind of like this in Cinema 4D. Or, if there was something about like volumetric lighting, I'm like, well, how do you get the volumetric lighting in Unreal? And Winbush will go ahead and show me that. So it's a very cool kind of format. And it's like over an hour and a half long. So it's pretty, like I said, it's like kind of like a visual podcast. So you get not only how to do things, what buttons to push, but also we have a little commentary on like, just my experience watching Winbush build this stuff from scratch in Unreal, and just what Unreal can do is pretty incredible. And it was very eye-opening to me, and it's like, and that's why we did this contest, where I think you need to have that first project, those constraints to actually start learning it. Until you have like a project or an idea that you want to execute, like it's just, you won't do anything, because you're just kind of like, I don't know what to make, I don't know where to begin, so you never start, right?
Yeah, and I was trying to pull up at least a tutorial that I had did after we had did that. I think I might have froze your screen there. Still trying to work on these transitional buttons and all that crap here. But if you're looking on the live stream, you can actually see the tutorial that I did. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like after we had our live stream together, walking you through all the steps and everything, I went back and recorded just a tutorial, just like straightforward, without us going back and forth. And so you kind of get the most of both roads. Like if you go to my channel, you'll get this one where it's like 45 minutes. You can walk it straight through. And then as EJ said, you said maybe what, like next week, you're going to post up the one where I'm kind of walking you through it and everything. So that's a good one for people to watch, that especially if you never used Unreal Engine before, because he's asking questions coming from somebody that's never used the program, and he's kind of making references to, you know, Cinema 4D or Redshift. So like whenever we're talking about lighting and stuff like that, he's making comparisons to how you would do lighting in Redshift. And so that might help a couple of people wrap your head around all these different workflows and things of that nature. So definitely looking forward to whenever you post that one up, and, you know, getting the community's feedback on how easy it is to follow through. I mean, I think it's easy, but I've been doing this for a couple years now. So, you know, it's almost like talking a second language at this point. Like I just kind of run through it. So it's always good to get fresh eyes and perspective on, you know, this stuff as it's starting to come out. And then, Marlon, did you want to talk about the Loom Pad? Because they are actually one of the sponsors for this contest. And so if you win third prize, you're going to get a Loom Pad, in which I did a tutorial for that as well. And if you don't know what the Loom Pad is, it's actually a holographic display tablet. So you could take After Effects, you could take Cinema 4D, Unreal, Unity. I'm probably missing a bunch more stuff, but you can actually export out natively from your different applications and bring it into the Loom Pad and have it automatically convert into a holographic display, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to see who gets this Loom Pad. You know, a little bit about Leia, you know, a 3D light field development platform. And, you know, we achieve 3D light field through hardware nanotechnology and AI. So it's a very thin tablet that the winner would get. And it's really just a very exciting opportunity to bring in your 3D work and see it in 3D. It's really tough to see in 2D, 3D and 2D in this sense, but it's really, really cool. And, you know, you can bring games into it. You can make it touch screen. You can do just models from your game, all sorts of fun things. And it's a lot of fun. We're really excited to be a part of this, and, you know, of course, to support, you know, Winbush, you know, EJ, you guys are rock stars, and we're really excited to be a part of this. Anybody that has questions about bringing their creations into the Loom Pad, here we got some kicks, some really fun kicks that, you know, these are things that you can't do with other displays in 3D, is really kind of touch screen.
That's pretty dope. Like I was playing with that. Like you can actually bring in like the OBJ and have it, like it's still a hologram, but you can still use the touch display to navigate it around it and everything, which is really cool.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really, really exciting, and, you know, we're happy to, you know, be a part of this. And I myself am learning Unreal for the first time, so this is just a great opportunity for me and so many others to just jump in and, you know, get started. And, you know, between you two guys, I mean, there's just such a wealth of knowledge and so many tutorials, and really no excuse to not get started. So, you know, really stoked to be a part of this, and, you know, I'm gonna probably bring some hip hop vibes to my Pud Forest.
Love it.
That's awesome. I'm trying to navigate all these chat boxes and everything. I see Stellar Elite says, one thing I'm finding the struggle lately is trying to get kit bash kits in the Unreal Engine 5. I think we did talk about this before. I guess we'll have to talk more about it, because there's several ways of doing it. I know with kit bash, basically, like they've been making kits for so long. Like they were making it even before they added like Unreal Engine and Unity support. So depending on the kit bash set that you're using, sometimes they don't natively have Unreal Engine support there. And so what you would basically do is maybe bring it into Cinema 4D and then export out like an FBX or something into Unreal Engine. Or if they haven't updated for Unreal Engine 5, I did a tutorial on this. Basically, you would open up the project in Unreal Engine 4, and then you can actually migrate it over to Unreal Engine 5. I know it sucks. It's extra steps that you have to take there, but basically, you want to hit up Kit Bash and tell those guys, you know, you got to update your stuff because people want to use it. So there is workarounds to it, but if you're using some of the older Kit Bash stuff, I mean, you're going to just have to manually bring some of that stuff in, which sucks, but it's doable, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned in the video we recorded, you know, every software has its quirks and all that kind of stuff, and we had to, you know, go through some of those little hoops to bring in some of those assets and stuff like that. You know, if you want to bring a horse model in, gotta jump through a hoop, you know. But I mean, it was really nothing. And you, like you said, I think you said that they were gonna. They haven't updated all of the Megascan's assets to be fully compatible with Unreal 5 yet. So that's something that, you know, even Kit Bash is going to take them time to update everything. Like Cinema 4D updates, you know, 3-4 times a year now. I don't even know. Like they're at a breakneck speed, and it's very hard to. It's hard for all these, you know, plug-in companies and stuff to make sure that everything's all working.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to get fancy with it, have the transitions and everything in there going from my desktop to the to the Discord. And yeah, it's like I gotta get like a sponsorship by Razer or something so I could try to get this set up properly. Cause I'm trying to do it through OBS, and then it's like I put the transition in that went from like us, you know, full screen to showing my desktop, and everything kind of got discombobulated. But we'll make it work. It's gonna, the next stream will be a lot more professional, I promise. So
Yeah, we'll help them learn Unreal, and we'll learn how to do live streams.
yeah, exactly. So
Or someone can teach us. Can anyone out there teach us?
but I did want to I wanted to make another announcement for the contest. We actually have two more people that came in to sponsor the contest. So
Oh, wow.
I'm excited to announce that we officially have Epic Game support for this contest. And so they're going to be sponsoring this ship, or they're going to be sponsoring the contest, not only, you know, with promo help and stuff like that, but we're going to have marketplace prizes as well. And so they did give us $1,000 US worth of marketplace points that we're going to be able to give out to the winners. I'm still debating on, do we give $1,000 to one person, or do we divvy that up? Like, I thought it might be cool to maybe give like $500 to first place, maybe $300 to second place, and $200 to the third place. That way we kind of divvy it up. Or if you guys want to be greedy, we could just give all 1,000 to first place, something like that. But yeah, Epic Games is officially on board for that. So definitely be on the lookout on how we're going to divvy that up. And then on top of that too, our friends over at the Pixel Labs, they're actually going to give us a couple of kits from their storefront that we could give away as well. And so we're still debating on the prizes for that, because they have a whole bunch of different products on there. None of them are for Unreal, but they have a lot of stuff that is for Cinema 4D, Redshift, Octane, Arnold, a lot of Kit Bash stuff, in which I do a lot of tutorials on how to bring the Pixel Lab stuff into Unreal Engine. So a lot of it still is viable, like the VDB stuff, the Olympic flag pack, a lot of texture packs, stuff like that. And so we're still trying to figure out maybe if the winners, if they just get to pick what they want off the site, and you could pick like maybe one of the packs or something like that. But, we're still getting through all this. We're kind of playing it all by ear at this point. But, we do have those two sponsors that are on board. So very excited and grateful to have Epic Games and the Pixel Labs on board for the contest here.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah, I want to know more about the Leia stuff. Like, do you need to know Unreal to get like art and video, like any videos into the Leia pad?
Not at all. The really cool thing about Leia is that they have some 2D to 3D converter. So even if you just shoot a video and put it on YouTube or Vimeo, Twitch, you can convert it into 3D. You just hit share, and in a few seconds it converts into 3D in real time. So it's really exciting for anybody that just wants to see their work in 3D. One of my favorite music video creators, and just in general creative technologists, Daito Manabe from Japan, Rhythmatics crew, if you're out there, much respect, did an amazing video for Square Pusher, and converting that to 3D was incredible. It was like I couldn't believe that it was so vivid and perfect. It was almost like it had meant to be created for 3D. So you don't need to be like an advanced 3D creator. You can bring in 2D content. But of course, if you are making 3D and you are, rendering 3D models or games, or you're able to, work in Unity, Unreal, Blender, etc., it is pretty magical. And of course, you just whip it out of your backpack, show people. If you're, an NFT creator, Web3 artist, what have you, you can ship your collectors their art in these things, which is a really, really sweet bonus for them. We're always open to collaborations and conversations with the creative community. I'm Marlon Creative on Twitter. We're Leia Inc. on Twitter. And same thing with Instagram. Just find us, shoot a DM. We're really friendly.
Yeah, and then I saw you here inside the chat on YouTube as well, so they can also follow you guys on YouTube. I know whenever I was doing the tutorial with you guys, I learned a lot on how to do like the holographic conversions and stuff through your YouTube channel. So you guys do have a lot of really cool tutorials on your channel, and then also the forum. The forum is really helpful that you guys have as well for people wanting to jump in and make all things hologram. Like I think at some point, whenever some stuff starts to settle down, I do want to attempt to make some type of like maybe like a small game or something, because like I was playing some of the stuff on your storefront, and the holographic games are really, really dope. Like I was playing like the new Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like an endless runner, but you can have it like in holographic form, which is really cool. So seeing stuff like that worked in action as a holographic form is really dope.
Absolutely, yeah. And we got some new development platforms coming out later this year with stereo head tracking, which is like another really fun thing to use. It basically always gives you like a perfect 3D image, tracking bridge of your nose. Lots of other exciting updates. We're very, very interested in doing more contests, getting this stuff in the hands of inspired creators. And so, yeah, this is just a really, really great way to reach the community. And, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to help answer any questions.
And you're going to be at SIGGRAPH as well, too, right?
That's right. We're going to be at SIGGRAPH. We're going to have a booth. If you're there, you get to check out not only the tablet that I just mentioned, but also a 4K 2D to 3D monitor, 15.6-inch monitor that we have that also has stereo head tracking. So on that monitor especially, when you see things coming out of the screen, I mean, it's really, really exciting. So come on over. We're happy to give you a demo, show you a little bit about the workflows, and of course, support creators, in any way that we can.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one I really want to come check out. I saw some of the stuff. I think it was at AWE, was at the conference, the AR conference, but you guys had that 4K monitor playing a video game, and it had like that little camera on it. I'm guessing that's how it gets like the depth of your eyes, and you're able to do like the parallaxing and stuff. But just even seeing people with the Twitter videos, like you can still see the holographic effect in there, which is really cool. So really looking forward to seeing that one in person and checking it out along with the tablet. You have the new tablet too that has a camera in there that does the parallaxing and stuff like that. So definitely looking forward to checking that stuff out.
Definitely, yeah. And just to add, those displays are 2D, they are 3D multi-view, so that groups of people can kind of look at it, but also it does have that stereo head tracking feature. So for single player, it does track your vision so that everywhere you look, you see a perfect 3D image around the corner. No artifacts, no compromises. So yeah, definitely if you're at SIGGRAPH, come on by. I'd love to meet you and show you the gear, and really talk a lot more about the technology, because I think the future for us is the enablement of any screen to be 3D. And that's the really exciting, that's what differentiates Leia from competitors, is the fact that, we're working smarter in the sense that this is a nanostructure underneath the display that can be put into any display, and the AI enablement software that can make any 2D content 3D. So think about any screen that you use on a daily basis, your watch, your laptop, your phone, your TV screen. When you leave the house, there might be signage that's digital and what have you. All of those screens could be 3D. So we're looking at a future where all of the amazing 3D work that's currently being done, and 2D work as well, could be presented in an exciting new way. So really excited about that, and just can't wait to meet more folks. See you at SIGGRAPH.
Awesome. So you're going to be there, or just Leia in general? Like, are you going?
Yes, I believe I will be there.
Awesome.
I expect to be there, but
Right.
yeah,
Canada will let you in. You never know.
yeah, right. You know? Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, yeah, I'm the unofficial hip hop ambassador there as well. So if you're also into music, hit me up. I'd love to find those intersections.
Awesome. Then I was checking the chat too. I see there was a question by T Strong. He was saying that he was having trouble rendering. Actually, let me just read it. So it says, I've been having an issue with rendering out of Unreal Engine 5 scenes. I've been getting a lot of motion blur on moving objects. I feel like it's looming, but I don't know. And so, what I can try to do, I'm trying to open up Unreal Engine 5 in the background. As soon as it's loaded up, I'll make it full screen. I I have an inkling of what's going on there, and so I'll attempt to do this live. Actually, I think it's opening up right now. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do my fancy transition to the work window. There we go. But it always messes up like
Now I'm
the
watching the YouTube just to see the transition happen.
yeah. So I'm trying to move like our actual like heads and stuff into a corner so that I could kind of show what's going on here. So okay, so I have this scene right now. This is actually one of my Pug Force scenes that I did originally. You can see here. And so what I'm thinking is we'll probably have to go to the post process volume here, right? So you have a post process volume inside your scene. If you don't know how to get this into your scene, again, I have a lot of tutorials on it. But you basically come up here to where you see like this little box with a plus symbol. You would come down here to, I believe it's visual effects. Yep, right there. And then you would add in the post process volume. And once you have that into your scene, you want to come down here to your details panel. You want to type in UNB. Now you can find it in there, but it's easier just to type it in the search. And you'll see this little button here that says Infinite Extinct Unbound. And yeah, sorry to EJ and Marlon. You'll probably have to watch YouTube to watch me go through
Yeah,
this
I'm watching
because
on YouTube. I did see the
Yeah.
transition. It looked pretty solid,
there
pretty
you go.
pro.
So down here in the details panel, after you do that, it's going to engulf your entire scene with this post process volume, right? So like if I scroll back, we can actually see we have this little cube here, and this is our post process volume. But to be able to see everything, like to be able to have it affect everything outside the box, you did that little trick that I showed you there. But once we have our post process volume here, if you type in search motion, you should be able to come down to a reference point. This is motion blur. And if you zero everything out, so like what I like to do is take them out, get down to zero, go to max, take down zero, and you should be good from there. And if you zero those out, you'll get no type of motion blur or anything happening inside your scene. So hopefully that helps you out because I like adding motion blur in post. I know I'm crazy. I like using real smart motion blur after effects, but yeah, I know if you have any issue there, that's how you would adjust your motion blur. But I like just rendering out raw and then doing all my post stuff in After Effects.
Well, the
So
motion blur is on by default, right? With the if you bring a camera into your scene or whatever.
yeah, motion blur is going to be on by default. The way that I like turning it off is using the post process volume. I know there are other ways, like inside the camera settings and inside some of the project settings that you could go with, but this is like the simplest way to go about turning it off. So I usually use the post process volume and just shut everything down.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that we talked about in, well, that we didn't know much about because we don't know cameras very well. But like it's a physical camera inside of Unreal. So if you're a cinematographer and you use the camera inside of Unreal, like I mean any 3D application really, but it all translates. So your f-stop also gives you the shallow depth of field and all that kind of stuff. So if you're used to using cameras, it's like in like video cameras. I know it's the shutter speed that controls the motion blur and stuff like that. So I wonder if that's a thing you could adjust one way or the other to remove the motion blur.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like I that's why I was saying you could do it in camera, but I'm not the best videographer, so like I don't know jack about shutter speeds and how light index inside the lenses and all that craziness. So yeah, if you know that type of stuff, then you'll be able to go into your camera settings. You can mess with the f-stop and stuff of that nature. But yeah, not me.
And you have up there like you got all the LUTs and all that kind of stuff that a lot of the post processing that you have in say Octane or Redshift, you have a lot of that same kind of stuff inside of Unreal as well, which was pretty cool to see. But yeah, it's having you walk me through how Unreal works uh, was really nice just to be able to make those kind of connections and whatever app you're using, things they all have the same features. They could just be called different things. You know what I mean? Like uh, post process volume and
PPV for short.
directional light instead of sky or sun like a sunlight or whatever.
Yeah, so we have the directional sun here. I forget what it's called instead of redshift. Like it's not directional light, right? It's like sunlight or something.
Well, I know in like standard C40 it's an infinite light. What's it called in Redshift? It might just be I don't know if it's infinite light in Redshift as well, but yeah,
Yeah,
all the same stuff.
for the most part, yeah. And so hopefully that answered his question there. Oh yeah, he said he's gonna open it up and check it out. So yeah, let me know. And then yeah, going through some more questions. It says, if starting a new project, which would you render in Omni or UE5? I'm guessing you're mentioning Omniverse by Nvidia. I'm not really versed in Omniverse at all. Like I've only used Unreal Engine 5, so that's what I would use there. But I've been hearing about Omnia for a while now. I guess it's really getting big. So let me see. Mr. Winbush, do you use game mode for a scene or do you use film, event, and live production? Yeah, I always go with the film event. That was something that we've added in. Well, I say we, like I work at the company, but that is something that Epic added in version 4.26, maybe like a year or two ago. Because before, everything was just straight gaming, right? Like it is a game engine, but once they started getting more versed into doing like automotive stuff, broadcast stuff, production stuff, they started adding other templates in there, which is really cool. So like you have your gaming templates. Actually, I could probably even just pull it up right now so we could walk through it. But yeah, as this is loading up, basically you have several different tiers, and then within those tiers you have templates within those tiers. So you have like your gaming template, and so you can make like a first person shooter, you can make a third person action game. I believe there's like AR template in there as well. Let me see, did it open up yet? It says it's easier to walk through once it loads up, but of course it like takes forever to load up when you want it to. All right, there we go. So yeah, we have all these templates over here. We have gaming, in which you can do first person, third person, top down, VR, vehicle, game simulator. I use this one right here. This is film, video, and live events. So I always go with this one because it will automatically turn on the plugins that you need, especially for rendering. So it will give the plugin turn on for the new way of rendering, which is the movie render queue. It gives you all the plugins for like Apple ProRes, AVI. What are some of the other ones? I want to say, what's that Windows one? Like WMV. I believe you can render that stuff out of there as well. Final Cut, whatever their whole thing is there. So it puts all these plugins in there for you and gets you ready to go just for rendering. There's a template here for ArchViz, which is cool, like for any architectural design stuff. You have all these templates in there for that. And then for automotive and product design, you have some templates in there for that as well. So I think it's cool how Epic kind of gives you like that first stepping stone into whatever you're trying to do, because they're trying to expand outside of gaming. They're trying to hit like all aspects of everything. So these are easy templates to get yourself, acclimated for whatever you want to use it for.
And I mean AR, holograms, all that stuff, and that's kind of the benefit of building everything in Unreal, is because even if you didn't think you were gonna make a video game level or some interactive experience, AR or VR experience, like it's as easy as like just flipping a switch. Like if you make your pug scene, your pug forest scene, right?
Yeah.
You want to turn it into some VR experience and put on your VR headset or whatever you want to do, like it's
Yep.
all good to go. So,
Yeah.
I know through this contest we're going to be having a lot of questions like, okay, if I build this forest scene, like what are those other benefits of Unreal outside of like, yes, it's real time. There's a lot of other benefits of using Unreal that expand outside of, yes, it's a real time renderer. There's so many other things you can do with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I tell people that all the time too. Like, yeah, that real time rendering aspect is cool, but especially for a lot of client stuff, like sometimes they want the most bang for their buck. So, like, say that you're working with, like I've done Lego Harry Potter stuff in the past, right? So if I built out my animations instead of Unreal, I could say like, hey, all the assets are already here. We can make a VR experience and we don't really have to change much around, or we can make an AR experience with all the assets already in here. Or if we want to make these characters interactive and hook up like an Xbox controller and make it into like a walking simulator or something like that, like the sky's the limits for the amount of stuff you could do with the stuff that you already have built out in there, instead of taking it from one application and then trying to make it work in all these different regards. It's like everything's there, so you can just kind of export it out to whatever you need. So that's a big aspect of it too. That's been really cool to work with.
Marlon, like you're on this like cutting edge tech stuff with the holograms and stuff. Like outside of do you, everyone like I've read an article about Google's coming out with their new glasses or whatever that actually doesn't look terrible. Actually, Winbush, you shared that in the Discord for a game night crew, and it's pretty incredible where we're going with like these first like non-nerdy looking application. Like no one's gonna go out in the public wearing a big clunky VR headset, and just how AR is probably going to be that first step into, I don't know if you want to say the metaverse or whatever, but like where do you see this tech going with like the light fields, and like I didn't even know that you can have this like you can turn any screen into like, are we going to live in a world soon where you can put this like some kind of film onto your like dashboard of your car and see directions like from Google Maps, like boop right there in a hologram form?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, right now we have a partnership with Continental, where we're building out some of these future dashboard systems in light 3D light field, like you mentioned. So I think, ultimately what we're looking at is the future of the internet, and it's going to be largely 3D, right? And it's not that, this is something that we've never experienced before, because we see naturally, in 3D, we don't we even learning to draw on like a flat plane in 3D, it's kind of difficult, because that's not really how you experience the world. So I'd say whatever modality is most comfortable and most appropriate for the use case, or for your body, or for your personal preference, I think there's going to be an option for everyone. Whether you're into putting on a headset and experiencing virtual reality, mixed reality, if you are more comfortable with a sort of constant digital overlay through glasses, or if your window to the metaverse, to the 3D internet is a display, a TV, a laptop, a watch, a tablet, what have you. I think there's going to be something for everyone out there, and even for folks that are have difficulty with vision. I think spatial audio is also like a really exciting dimension to think about when we look at an augmented world. So I think there's going to be something for everybody, and there's a lot of smart people working on these devices, hardware, as they say. But we continue chipping away at it, and really happy to envision this future, knowing that I know what Leia has going for is this ability to turn any screen into a 3D screen and go back and forth between 2D and 3D. So it's not permanently in 3D; it's just more of an option that you have. And for sure, as a creator, if you're working on things that really should be seen coming out of the display, that's really exciting as well. So just excited for everything that comes, and just cheering everybody on that's doing the hard work and heavy lifting, and and to you guys as well for really being the Sherpas that are, guiding all of the creative community, and informing them about, what's possible and what are some of the different endpoints for their artwork. That's really exciting. So, yeah, can't say enough about it. About 6 billion mobile users around the world,
Right.
and we're trying to bring 3D to every single one of them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to. I think we're having some internet difficulties. I'm seeing a lot of lag inside the stream right now. People are saying the audio is still coming through, but I know we've been on for about like 40 minutes right now. So, I mean, unless there's any other questions in the chat, like I don't know if I could pull up Unreal right now just because of the internet lag. But if there's any other questions, be happy to answer them. If not, I guess we could kind of sign off here and call it a day.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you want to throw in, because we mentioned the tutorial that you already have that's up, that's kind of like the speed run through how to build the pug forest. That's done. That's something you can watch right now. And then, like I said, the one that Winbush and I both recorded together as like that visual podcast one, that is just me being lazy and haven't gotten around to editing it. That should be coming out next week. But yeah, we're planning on making a lot more content. I know someone asked if I'm gonna try to do a tutorial with Unreal. I'm gonna try to build my own and try to see if I can, give my perspective of, what are the things that, like, my brain didn't work with well, or what were some of the cool takeaways I kind of had working with, and maybe we make that into a live stream where I just kind of like build my first project with it, maybe without your help.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm like, oh, I got stuck on this, or what's up with this, or I thought this was really awesome and people should know about that, because there was a lot of those discoveries in that video that I should hopefully release next week, where like the mind explode emoji was happening in my head quite a few times, just like the texture mixing was incredible, and there's things that you can do in Unreal that you either can't do at all inside of Cinema 4D, or if you tried to do it, it would be about 15 more steps than what you can do in Unreal. So I mean, that's the first step, is just beginning to know what's possible. And again, everything's a tool, and you utilize the strengths of each tool. So you only realize what the strengths are of Unreal versus Cinema 4D when you start using it. And I was just watching Luis Miranda's Maxon presentation, and he showed how to sculpt something in ZBrush, and then he did some Substance Painter work to texture it up, brought it into Cinema 4D, set that all up. And he just had like it was like a Jason mask or whatever from
Friday the 13th
or whatever, or Friday the 14th. Yeah, I'm
14th.
I don't know what the hell is what. But yeah, it's a ski mask thing, and he decided, like, you know what, like, this looks great in Redshift, but you're gonna deal with the long render times. It was like a 30-second, all these different camera moves of the detail that he made with the texture and the mask and everything, and he decided to just bring it all over into Unreal. And he was talking about how, like, the camera moves from Cinema 4D actually translated over really well, and he got it looking really, really good.
Yeah.
And comparable to Redshift with Unreal 5. So, a lot of people, I did this poll on Twitter where I asked, like, if you've been wanting to learn Unreal, what's been holding you back? And the main thing, and there's over 300 votes, the runaway winner of that poll was the relevancy to your workflow. So, and then the second, which was very close behind, was they don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So I think through this contest, we're going to help answer those two concerns. Is how is this relevant to your workflow? Well, for Luis, I mean, it was a very simple use case of just a bunch of camera moves showing off this cool model that he made, and instead of rendering everything in Redshift, it was an easy export to to Unreal. And I think he did have to rebuild the textures to some extent, but all that time you take rebuilding the texture, you can then render like that, you know. So it takes a little bit of work, but then the speed increase with the render and the flexibility of, you know, tweaking and changing the camera move is like incredible. So I could see like if you do a lot of product renderings or something like that, where it's like you're just highlighting this product and getting all these nice sexy angles and you're lighting things very well. Like, why deal with, you know, 4 minute a frame render time in Octane when you could get something looking really nice inside of Unreal for this product shot? And again, what you're like, it's incredible to just walk through your scene like a video game, real time, and choose. And it's like you're a digital cinematographer with your, you know, your Steven Spielberg in this little metaverse kind of space. So I think it's those things where I think you have to start with those simple use cases and then build out from there with not only the scope of your projects that you can do in there, but your understanding of Unreal, because as you grow as an artist, all these tools are growing and evolving as well. So you can start learning Unreal right now, and you might be hitting a bunch of roadblocks maybe. Your roadblocks might lift in 6 months, and like it's just totally changed and totally easier, because I mean, you've seen this from, what is it, 4.8 to 5 or whatever the last version of Unreal was?
Some really old. Like, I was in it when it was strictly video games. I think it was just like me and Capacity that were pretty much using it at that point. So
yeah, I mean, you just shared the other day that we're starting to see studios, like friends of ours, already been Jude, Barton Dammer, excellent studio. They're killing it with like using Houdini and Redshift and Octane, and they just put up an ad for an artist that knows Unreal.
Yeah.
So
I mean, those guys.
You're getting to see people like studios start to utilize it. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I know like the NFL Network's been looking for artists. Fox Sports, Zoic Studios up there in Culver City. As we just said, already been Chewed just put out a job listing. So like that's the one thing, like people hit me up all the time looking for Unreal artists. So it's not even just like, hey, do you only know Unreal? It's like, do you know somebody that knows like Maya and Unreal or Cinema 4D and Unreal? Because at the end of the day, you still should know like your DCC, you know, to be able to work in conjunction with Unreal. So it's one of those things that will make you more valuable out there in the workforce, especially for people that are having trouble finding work. If you add more skill sets to your tool belt, then you make yourself that much more valuable for these studios, because they always want to be using the next cutting edge technology for whatever they're trying to do. But yeah, I would definitely say whenever Maxon puts it up, definitely watch Luis's presentation that you just spoke about. That was something that I saw him when he put that up there on like TikTok and YouTube maybe a couple of months ago, because he's been experimenting with it. He did some Five Nights at Freddy renders that are really cool using the same exact workflows. And I would even say he could even simplify it a lot more, because I know you had asked him the questions about materials and stuff like that. Like if you're coming out of Substance Painter, you can actually export directly to Unreal Engine, so you don't even have to go and rebuild the textures as he was doing. He could literally take, you know, his model from Substance Painter, import it into Unreal, and everything will be there in conjunction on how it should be. So this is just stuff that, you know, you just learn as you go along, in, you know, ways of making your life easier. You're always going to be searching for like, how do I do this, this, and this? And just naturally by doing it, you're going to come up with these workflows. But I'm sharing a screen right now inside of Discord. I don't know if you or Marlon can see it, but there's this artist. He just started learning Cinema 4D. He took a course. I'm not sure, what is that class that's right there with that trademark? I forget what it was. Sure. Yeah, I know I've seen it before, but I'm not sure. But basically, he was trying to build out this scene, and I think they were actually teaching Redshift for the final result. And like he doesn't own Redshift or something, but he was like, let me use this as an opportunity to learn Unreal Engine as well. So he put together like this little tutorial here, which is really cool, showing how he went from like Cinema 4D to Unreal. And it looks almost exactly the same as the tutorial, you know, class thing he was following and everything. So he showed his process of what he built inside of Cinema, and then just bringing it to Unreal Engine for his final render out.
That's awesome.
Wow. And we didn't even cover the Datasmith stuff and all that kind of stuff, how you can work with Cinema 4D and all that.
Yeah, so I know for this particular one right here, because he actually reached out to me on LinkedIn and showed me it, and then I was like, you should put it up on Twitter so I could share it with everybody. But basically, he did it a couple of ways. So he used the Datasmith for some stuff, like importing stuff from Cinema 4D to Unreal. Some stuff he exported out as FBXs because he found that worked better. And then some stuff he did as like an Alembic file, because sometimes some of the animation, especially more complex stuff, like how he had the stuff kind of rolling out, like almost like you're using like a roller pin, that animation probably won't come over with the Datasmith. So I always tell people, like, when you have complicated stuff like that, export it out as an Alembic file and bring it into Unreal, and it will 100% work all the time. So it was cool to see somebody that's like super new to Cinema and Unreal be able to go in there and problem solve this stuff himself to make it work for what he needed to. So yeah, I just wanted to give him a shout out.
18 years old too.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about it. Like, you know, I bang my head against the wall all the time. People want their handheld through a lot of this stuff, and I'm like, problem solving is the funnest part of it. And so he went out there and he figured this stuff out on his own, and you know, he felt so accomplished at the end. He wanted to share with everybody, which is really cool to see. So more of that type of stuff out there. Love to see it.
Yeah, I'm posting his Instagram, and it's like super cool because if you look back at his Instagram, like everything is like a 2D logo or something that he did in Illustrator or After Effects, and then like you just see this massive skill jump from like this 2D animation to this like full-blown 3D piece that's like nicely lit, and it's pretty incredible.
Yep. So definitely want to give a shout out to him. I don't even want to try to pronounce his name because I'll probably jack it up, but
Nagashkar.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not.
So he posted in the chat, so yeah, you can.
But
Each one.
I know. Yeah, people butcher my last name too, so you know.
I see there's a question that went up a little while ago. Hopefully he's still here, by Lyric Jesse. It says, I started fiddling with Unreal Engine a couple of days back. What advice would you give someone who wants to tap into live production with Unreal Engine? My best advice is to kind of take something that you see out there that really inspires you and just try to replicate it. I mean, that's basically how I learned a lot of programs. Whenever I was first learning Octane, I did that. When I first learned Redshift, I did that. And same thing with Unreal Engine. I kind of take stuff that inspires me and see how I can backward engineer it. Live production is a little bit different of a beast because you're working with like actual live cameras and taking that output out HDMI and trying to input it into Unreal Engine. If that's the type of stuff that you're talking about, I would go to the Epic Games forum because they do have a learning portal on there, and they have free teachings from the team over at Epic Games, and I know they've been doing a lot of live production stuff over there. And so I don't know the link right offhand. If you go to unrealengine.com, and then in the top section, it'll say like community section, you can find it in there, and they have like a whole plethora of learning materials in there, and they cover everything from doing audio design in Unreal, virtual production, making games, cinematic renders. So I tell a lot of people I would go there and kind of get your feet wet into whatever you want to try to do, and then, you know, go to my YouTube channel for when you want to expand out from there.
What's up?
We got Punisher in the house. Clint, what's going on?
Yay, what's going on, Clint? Good to see you here. He's he actually just posted a really dope tutorial maybe like 2 weeks ago that he created like this ivory forest door from scratch thing. So he had like this door that was kind of opened up, and then he built like a forest around it, which is really dope. I know Clint's been on and off of Unreal for the past 2 years. He's been getting stronger with it the past couple of months, so it's been really cool seeing his progression there. Also a person that came from Cinema 4D and Octane, and he's been kind of dabbling in there. So it's been cool seeing, where he started from maybe like a year or two ago to where he's at right now. I mean, he's making like photorealistic scenes inside of Unreal, which is cool to see.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I watched Corridor Digital, and I just saw him in a latest few episodes, which was cool to see him back again. And whenever they do their challenges, it's cool to see like who knows what software. And I didn't know that Clint was also learning Unreal. I know one of the other guys at Corridor is like super good with Unreal. They
Yeah,
had
in
this
the
whole
mocap
challenge. They
stuff.
made this whole like game level. Like every
Yeah.
time that like Ren was trying to build something in Cinema 4D, and so it's pretty fun. So I don't know if Ren started learning Unreal yet, but maybe we can get him on this challenge too and get him learning, because I think then the whole Corridor crew will know a little bit of Unreal.
Yeah, yeah. I think he actually was because I remember during NAB he had mentioned something about it. I'm not sure if he followed through with it, but yeah, definitely know Clint and sorry, I forget the other guy's name, but yeah, he's a beast as well. Like he was doing like mocap with Unreal. He made that Smash Brothers looking level thing in there. Like he's a beast with it. So it's cool seeing how people are using it just for having fun, not even like client work. Like they're just having fun with it over there.
Yeah, man.
Then give a shout out to Logan as well, cause he's been doing some cool stuff. I saw him in the
Oh,
chat.
look at the
He's
house.
been, yeah, he first started with you guys over at School of Motion, right? And I remember
Yeah.
he was doing
Oh my
area
goodness.
stuff, and he was
His
taking the lights camera render scenes and bringing it into Unreal and making it into like video game levels, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's he's like one of my students that I'm like most proud of, seeing his progression, because I've seen him learn Cinema 4D from scratch, and just how much he's progressed like to now. And now he works for School of Motion as a teaching assistant, and like literally everything he does, he's just knocking it out of the park. He's a great artist. He's a great educator. He's a great teacher and mentor for a lot of students. And I know he's been doing a lot of work with Epic as well, uh, teaching some Unreal stuff as well. So more power to him. Like I'm so proud of him and all the stuff he's doing. And I checked out. He's building an entry for the contest too, so I saw his little Pug Forest scene
Yeah,
coming
it's looking
along.
really
Looks
dope.
really dope. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe he's making video game levels, so I fully expect some Pug Forest game.
And then you do have a question in there too. LJ asked, "Do you have, or it says, Eyedesyn? Do you know or use any DaVinci Resolve?"
I do not, but that's like the free color correcting kind of software, right?
Yeah, it's like it does everything. Like that's what I use to edit my YouTube videos because it's like
Okay.
I think Black Magic they just bought like a bunch of companies, right? Like they have Fusion built in, which is a compositor like Nuke. They have an audio suite in there. I forget what it's called, but you could do like full audio production in there. Of course, the editing. They have the DaVinci suite, which is the color correcting suite, and then there's one more thing that I'm forgetting, but it's pretty much like another one and all project. Like once you bring it into Resolve, especially for editing, it's like you could pretty much take care of like everything in there. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't do a ton of client work, nor do I do a lot of like. I mean, even when I did client work, I didn't do a ton of compositing. I mean, I just
Yeah.
feel like nowadays, like you just do everything in the camera. But I know that there's certain jobs where you absolutely need that flexibility, and you need to render out everything with passes. But with Magic Bullet being right inside Cinema 4D now, and all the post effect stuff you can do in Redshift or Octane, like I just don't find a real need for it unless the project kind of lends itself to that. Which, like I said, I do very little projects, so
So you
like
don't go to
compositing just was never a fun thing for me to do. Outside of
Fair Light.
Unreal 2.
That's
My
right.
S curve adjustment with yeah, it's about as far as I go. And now Aces, it's like I don't know, but yeah,
You don't use
seems
After
like it's good.
Effects. You don't do the Cinema 4D After Effects even.
Yeah, I mean, I very rarely. I mean, I spend a ton of my time in Cinema 4D. Like I would say if I do anything, it's like I'll do Cinema 4D and then Premiere to like edit things together if it's like some kind of sequence animation sequence that I want to use Premiere with, or editing my own tutorials or something like that. So, and I mean, I came a long way. I used to edit my tutorials in After Effects like an idiot.
I did the same. My first couple on my channel, there was because it's like I
Really, what's the most?
refused to learn Premiere. I'm like, I'm not going to touch
Yeah,
Premiere at all. And yeah, just with those
I
like
mean, it
10
wasn't
hour
that
renders,
hard, but
yeah, it just After Effects is not built for editing. And then I don't know what it is about After Effects, but it's one of the slowest renders out there known to mankind. So it's just like trying
well, I
to
mean, it's
edit like a 30-minute tutorial and then render that out, and it's like a 10-hour,
yeah,
render. I'm
let
just
him
like,
preview it all the time, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So it looks like
But
we got another question. We got Ben
yes,
in the house. Awesome to see Ben.
yep. Ben corrected me there. Fairlight is the audio production tool instead of Blackmagic. So and then
Yeah, if you
but
want to going back to the worst renderer ever, talking about Corridor. Corridor has their Corridor cast, and they just had one recently about like the code of the ancients, which is like a hat tip to how old the code is for After Effects.
yeah, I won't get into Ren's AE rants or anything right now.
Yeah,
But
he goes hard.
no, wanted to answer this question real quick by Common Time Productions. He was saying, or it says Mary and Sam, so I think it's a team. So she is saying, I've been using keyframing for animation with setting up an animation blueprint and then recording during runtime. Like I want to use the controller and record at the same time, which is funny enough because I've been working on my SIGGRAPH presentation, and I was going to show how to use the Xbox controller to do like a camera recording, but for whatever reason, inside of five, I just couldn't get it to work. Like usually, you could take it inside the take recorder, and you could record everything in real time, and it's happening in the viewport. It wasn't working, so yeah, I'm gonna figure that out. And once I do, I'll probably do a tutorial on it so I don't forget how to do it. But if you wanted to get more realistic camera moves for your scene, what I like to do is use my cell phone or my iPad. So I do, again, I have tutorials on how you can hook up your mobile device to Unreal Engine, and you could use that device as a virtual camera. Like everything actually shows up, like either on your phone or your tablet, and you could walk around your room and use it as as you're shooting a camera. And all your camera specs are on the screen as well. So if you're fluid with how a camera works, as we spoke about before, like if you know about f-stops and shutter speeds, like all those controls are on your phone, and you can walk around and direct your scene as if you're holding like an actual camera, which is really cool. And that's going to probably give you the most the most realistic looking camera moves out there if you want to do that type of stuff. We'll have to get Loompad in there, get like a holographic camera display thing, so it's like the scene is coming out at you as you're trying to walk
Yeah.
around with the
Oh,
tablet and
could
record it
you
and
do
everything.
that though? Could you really do that?
Yeah, real time 3D streaming is one of the things that we were working on right now at AW. We had someone doing live tilt brush painting while we were viewing it in auto stereoscopic 3D on the display. So yeah, 3D light field. Yeah, the sky's the limit. We're pushing it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are doing crazy stuff. Like I even saw it was inside like a BMW, right? Like you had like the holographic displays in the Beamer or something like that, like on the windshield and inside the dashboard unit.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably with Continental. You
Or
saw
Continental,
it's
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's really exciting. Whether it's the display in a plane, when you're taking a long trip, in a car, TV, laptop, phone, watch, any display, any screen. Our mission is to basically enable it to go from 2D to 3D, as you wish. So,
Yeah.
yeah, lots of exciting stuff coming up. And that's one of the things we should definitely try at some point is, doing some real time controller stuff. I think it'd be exciting.
Or if you want to send me a car, I'll cover it on my channel. We'll
Hey, for sure.
we'll do a tutorial on the holographic
It'll
car
drive itself.
displays and.
Yeah, it'll pull up and it'll nobody will be in the driver's seat, right? It's
Well, I mean, there might
it'll
be
be like
some way to cross promote in there because I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but I saw they were using Unreal Engine inside of cars for whatever reason. Like maybe it was for the autonomous driving stuff, but there could be something there. So we could get Epic Games to sponsor it. You guys send me out a car, we'll cover it, and yeah, we'll be good.
yeah,
Make something
absolutely.
crazy out
Stuff's
of it.
coming. If you notice, like with Teslas, recently, like the gaming function, was turned on. So you can kind of tell. Actually, looking at the future where
Yeah.
you might have the ability to do it while we're in the car.
Yeah, I saw somebody they were playing like Doom, like the old school Doom inside a Tesla. Like they were able to install it and actually play it there inside the head unit there, which is crazy. So, yeah.
Awesome.
That's distracted driving, I think, right there.
Well, everybody's using, well, especially out here in LA, you'll see people like sleeping inside their Teslas because they just put it on like autopilot mode and they'll hit the 5 and just crash out. So, what's adding the video game in there,
Not literally crash.
Yeah, I mean that's happened too,
Yeah, I don't trust that AI to that extent right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, common. Okay, so yeah, common time said they didn't know Unreal does that. Yeah, definitely check out my channel. Just yeah, I have like 3 tutorials on how to set it up for Android and iOS. And so no matter what device that you're using, you should be able to do that with the virtual camera there. And then let's see, we got Fred Pickles in the house.
Fred Pickles.
Trying to see if there's any other questions. I think we answered everything there that was inside the chat. So yeah, can't wait to see everybody's entry inside the contest. Like I know one person had entered via email. I haven't checked the email in a while, so I gotta see if there's more in there. Like we said, Logan has been doing some cool stuff in there. We gotta wait for EJ's submission still. I know I'm gonna create something like I'm not qualified to enter, but still want to put something in there because at the end of the contest, we're actually going to string everything out into a pretty cool montage. So hopefully a lot of you guys out there, you enter so we could just have like a crazy cool long montage kind of showcasing everybody's work there. So definitely looking forward to it. So that's September 1st too, by the way. So you have a lot of time in there. That's like what, like a month and a half. So yeah, entries don't stop till September 1st there.
Let's go.
Yeah, and I know in the link to this video, or the description of this video, you have a link for the Unreal Engine Challenge announcement video. So if you've missed the announcement video that we did, you can check that out there. And I believe in that announcement video, Winbush, you put a link to your tutorial there as well, walking through how to build the Pug Forest scene. Oh, Fred Pixels has a question.
Yeah, I was gonna pipe him in, but I don't know if he's being serious or not.
No, we should probably just end the stream and ignore his question.
Yeah, I mean, he got all that Spider-Verse money. He could just pretty much buy his way out of whatever situation. Nah, he's cool. All right, cool. So yeah, do you guys I know we've been on for a minute. Do you guys have any sign off remarks? I know we're a little bit over an hour, so I know we could do this again next week if you guys want. We'll do another What Up Wednesday. Hopefully, EJ, you have your tutorial done by then.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, and we got to get some beats going from Marlon as well to play out. Maybe we need a theme song. I know Ben was talking about we need this What Up Wednesday theme song.
I got you, EJ. Ready?
Yes.
See, I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, we don't hear anything.
It's like when someone's playing like the air guitar.
It's all in your mind.
Hold on. There we go.
Yeah, Konami says he's gonna do something for the entry. Can't wait to see it. Dope.
Nice.
Hold up.
Still nothing.
Yeah, I don't think smashing it into your camera is making the sound.
Think, yeah,
Yeah,
you know what? This noise canceling is just so good. Shout
yeah.
out Apple. Just really,
Does
you
that
know,
which what NPC
or
is
like
that?
beat canceling. What up?
What NPC is that?
This is the MPC live. So it's all internal. When I need a break from screens, I just go to the MP and sample some records.
Is that the
Chop
one
them
that
up.
has the speaker built into it, right? Is that the one that just came out?
Yeah, it has a speaker built into it, and
Right.
pretty fun stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely down to make that theme song. I got some beats, some West Coast flavors for y'all.
Dope.
Definitely down for the What Up Wednesdays. Love it.
No,
Yeah, you gotta
definitely
have the
appreciate you jumping in, especially jumping in as a sponsor for the contest overall. I think you were probably the first ones we asked, and you guys said absolutely right away. So definitely appreciate that, man.
No doubt, no doubt. And I'm always gonna support you guys, like no matter where I'm at. It's just all about pushing creativity and human potential, people going for it, doing cool stuff. That's what it's all about.
Yep. Then want to give a shout out to Puget Systems as well because they're giving us the 3090 that we're giving away
yeah.
as a grand prize, which is really dope. And then also Maxon, which is giving us a year subscription to not only Cinema 4D but the entire Maxon One suite. So you get Cinema 4D, you get ZBrush, you get all the Red Giant plugins. What else do they have out there?
Redshift.
Yeah, Redshift. You get a year of
I mean,
Redshift.
I feel like they buy new stuff all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, who knows what they're going to
Yeah,
announce at SIGGRAPH. So, yeah, you get a whole plethora full of stuff. I mean, ZBrush is Cinema 4D and Redshift. I mean, that's even a lot right there. Well, plus the Red Giant stuff. So, I mean, you're getting thousands of dollars worth of product in there, which is really cool on their behalf. So, yeah, big shout out to Maxone as well. Again, big shout out to Epic Games for officially sponsoring and the Pixel Labs as well.
yeah,
So,
that's huge.
a
Just
lot
add
of
into that
stuff.
prize pool. Get some motivation for everyone to start learning some Unreal. So I'm excited.
Say,
Super
I
excited.
might have to throw a prize in there. Maybe I'll gift somebody Ninja Turtles for Nintendo Switch if you win. So you could come play with us on game night. So
There you go. Yeah,
yeah, well,
like yeah, you know how like you have grand prize winner will get flown out to whatever. It's like no, you get to play video games with us.
we'll do it for runner up gets to play Ninja Turtles with us one night, just one night. Then you get purged back out of group. So
There you go.
make it
Yeah,
count.
we'll get them for some like Uber Eats or something, like some hamburgers while they play.
Oh, nice, Steve. He said that he's going to be doing some demos for Max on ZBrush out here at
Oh, nice.
SIGGRAPH. So yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
who's all
ZBrush is-
coming to SIGGRAPH. I know we got me, you. I'm not sure if they made any announcements yet, but cool to see Steve's
There's
going to
about a
be there.
dozen people going, so
Yeah,
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 I'm
I'll
excited
definitely
to
be
go.
there. Well, EJ and I and Marlon, all three of us are going to be there. So if you see us out there, make sure you stop by, say what's up. Make sure you go by the layout booth so you can see all the holographic displays there, and plus, bother Marlon with his NPC that plays no beats. You see him on the show for there. But yeah, is there any closing remarks you want to make, EJ, before we close out?
No, I'm super excited to get this going, and yeah, I think it's important to be up on new tech and stuff like that, and even if you don't think that you don't know where Unreal fits, I think if you take some time to learn it and build stuff with it, I, I think that Unreal is gonna be coming in fast and furious here in the next year or so, and you're gonna see even more studios using it. And the great thing is like if you already know Cinema 4D or you know Blender or whatever, like all these stuff, like you'll watch in the video that will come out next week that there's so many things that translate. So if you just know one app, one 3D DCC, like there's so much stuff that you can bring over to Unreal. So it's like you're not starting from scratch. You know what I
Right.
mean? So.
And the
I hope
integration
everyone,
keeps getting better too.
yeah, Yeah, it's only getting better. But yeah,
So yeah,
can't wait.
definitely the more Cinema 4D users out there we have using both, the the I guess the better it is for all of us because then you guys could bother Max on and be like, hey, what's up with the updates and the integration? And yeah, just keep pounding on Max on to get that Cinema 4D Unreal Engine integration even better. Like it's cool now, but there's a lot of stuff to be desired. So the more users we have out there demanding these features, especially going from real time Cinema 4D to Unreal, that's something that I've been really pushing for because Maya could do it right now and Houdini. Like literally, what you do inside of like Houdini happens in real time in Unreal. So that's what I'm hoping to see happen for us as well. So definitely, all you guys out there, start hounding Rick and Paul and tell them you come courtesy of Winbush. So you got to make this integration happen a little bit faster.
Hmm.
All right, cool. But yeah, no, thank you guys for coming out. I think we're going to close it here. We're going to do it again next Wednesday, hopefully a little bit more professional as I try to figure out this live streaming stuff. I have to hit up Dave Koss and see how to do this thing. But for the first one, I don't think it was too bad, right? Just a few hiccups. Got to see some fancy transitions in there. At least I got that working. So
Screen didn't go down. I mean, we couldn't hear the awesome music. We'll fix that too.
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
get that PC going. But great to spend this time with you guys, and thanks to everybody that joined in the chat. Really excited to be here. Happy to support EJ Winbush. Let's go.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, if we have you back on, Marlon, you gotta make sure that NPC works. You gotta be like,
Promise. That's a promise.
it's like Eugene from Bob's Burgers. You know, how he carries around the keyboard with him everywhere. He does the theme music for wherever situation he's in. So,
Let's go.
all right, y'all. Definitely appreciate you guys coming. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks again.
What
Cheers.
up, Wednesdays?
What up, Wednesdays? Let's go.
See you, everybody.
Peace.
All right, there we go.